Hello and welcome to part 2 of Sports of the Day, because my video files are getting far too long and far too large to upload in one setting. So here we are entering the second half of the most exciting game of all time. It is 3-0 Los Angeles from an opening drive field goal that I kicked, and it was good, mainly because I just kind of chucked it up there and made some plays. Oh, Amon Green is on this Packers team. Of course, Brett Favre, I already talked about him. Who else is on this team? Probably Antonio Freeman, I would guess. Can't really change my viewpoint here, so that's difficult. But I like how they started a man in motion and then immediately snapped the ball anyway to fake me out or something. What if I blitz none? What if I just go man under and see what happens? 3rd and 4. I tend to like to go conservative on 3rd down, as you know, theoretically. If you don't know that, that is something good to learn, and you won't have to wonder why. Because a lot of times, teams will call bigger plays, like pass plays on 3rd down that have potentially damaging results if I'm blitzing there. If you got to get 10 yards, you got to throw for 10 yards, and 10 yards can easily turn from 10 to 40 if I'm blitzing the middle linebacker, for example, and somebody's open over the middle and there's no safeties. That's at least my philosophy, and that's purely from experience. I used to play NCAA football 2010 or 2011, I believe it was in 2010, so it would have been 2011, and I had a season start where I had the lead in like 3 games, only for the other team to get like 60-yard touchdowns in the waning drive, like basically Hail Marys, in 3 separate games. I don't know how you can be that unlucky unless you're, was it 2010's Wisconsin, or 2011's Wisconsin team, who had a Hail Mary loss to Michigan State. Like, that was a really good team too. They won they lost the Rose Bowl, but they made it to the Rose Bowl, won the Big Ten. They lost one game to Michigan State because they caught a Hail Mary like at the 1-yard line, and there was this review to see if the player who caught it actually motioned the ball over the goal line. And after like intensive review, they found out that yes, indeed, that was a touchdown. And then there was this crazy one with it was Braxton Miller's freshman year, I think, at Ohio State. It was interesting because it feels like he's been there forever. He's one of those, like, in college it always feels like somebody's been there forever, especially when they're a high-profile player. But he threw this, because that was my junior year in high school, and I'm a sophomore in college now, so like, I guess that adds up. No, it doesn't. I don't know. No, it does not, because he's got another year of eligibility left. Oh God, I have to think about this, because there's all this talk of Ohio State having so many quarterbacks that they had to use. I don't know what's going to happen to Braxton Miller. People were joking he'd come here, but because our past here in this case means the University of Kansas, and the joke there sort of is that our past, like, two of our past 3 seasons, we've started 2012 and 2013. We started with a highly touted quarterback from another school, Dane Christ, and then what was his name, Jake Heaps, only for them to be replaced by a much better quarterback. In our case, it was Michael Cummings in 2012, then Montel Cozart in 2013, and then again Michael Cummings in 2014 when Cozart had a really bad start to the season. I'm going to play Michael Strahan here. I forget he's on this defense. And that was just good-ass blocking. Maybe it's because I only ever try to get around blockers with the L and R buttons, and I'll accidentally... Nobody ever does that. Like, that replay was only ever triggered unintentionally. But anyway, I highly doubt he would come here, but apparently he was considering it, which I thought was interesting too. find it really weird to think that he might stay at Ohio State, though. Because he's not the first guy we'd want in there. He's not even, he may not even be the second guy I want in there. God, that's going to be so interesting. I'm really excited for college football next year. Mainly because of that, because the defending national champion doesn't know who their quarterback is and is returning all of their quarterbacks, theoretically. Granted, he's got to know that he's not the type of player you'd see in the NFL a lot. He's kind of a runner with a ME, and that could be helped at the combine if he can show that he can throw well. I mean, that's what happened with Tom Savage. Jimmy Garoppolo, too. I guess I'm taking it out. That's a good idea. Take it out of the end zone. Make it to the 20. I think I got it. Okay. If I made it to the 25, I just can't count. Excellent. But my main point is that I don't know what's going to happen. And that could potentially destroy the team, which would be far more interesting than that team repeating. Is there being a lot of jealousy and, you know, distrust in the locker room and a lot of division between the coaches and the players upon who's starting, because that has messed up teams before. And if they can't figure it out quickly in the season, if it's a Drew Henson, Tom Brady scenario, if it's whatever the antithesis of that, where they try to stick with Drew Henson to the end of the season and they don't end up, you know, having a really good season like Tom Brady led them to. And I'm talking about the 2000 Michigan Wolverines, if you're not keeping up with me. I know I go relatively fast and assume you know more things than I do. How do I flip the play? I don't know, so I won't. I guess I'm passing it. Running has been working this drive, just by the way. Yeah, and when it gets down to that time, I'll actually do a more dedicated, like, preview of college football, at least in my own opinions. I might write my own top 25 and see how it goes. My own top 25 last year was right on basically one front, and it was, I never shared it with anyone, so I could say literally whenever I want. I could say that it was great, and you couldn't go check me. But I was very accurate in my prediction that Oklahoma was not going to be as good as everybody said they would be. Kerry Collins dived in for the first time. There we go. That man cannot move his feet whatsoever. God, we are tied at 3-3. Such is the life of Madden 2002. I'm just going to chuck it to the end zone and see what happens. Oh, that was a bad idea. Or was it? Excellent. As we go into the fourth quarter, tied 3-3. It's been a defensive struggle. Here I am, fourth down. Who do I want to give it to? That's right. It's you. Play action. Who will I throw it to? Hilliard or Cross? Let's go to Hilliard. This theoretically would be the second touchdown of the year if I get it and I get sacked. So, this is going to be the second field goal of the game, because I have no doubt that I'm not going to get to the touchdown now, because they're prepared for the only thing I can really throw at them. And, yep. Yep. Shit. Okay. So I'm basically just going to throw to the corner of the end zone. Hope that Mr. Oh, God. Joe Jurevicius comes down with it. The fate of the game. Oh, I could loft it to Hilliard immediately, but I'd have to see what happens. So, quarterback vision. Ooh, God, tense. Let's go to Jurevicius, because he may have a step on the guys. Oh, shit, Joe. There you go. That's how you do it. Joe Jurevicius. Getting it done for the Los Angeles Life. Just fucking pummeled the linesman there. And here we are. It's 9-3. About to bring home a win in front of the home crowd. Assuming we can stop Brett Favre and the Green Bay Packers for the next 4 minutes. And also make this extra point. Because my kicker is really not good. So I've talked about one of my 5 topics. Well, no, I did mention Jason Sehorn's name. The other 3 were number 2, the college game and complaints about the college game. I watched a college basketball game last night, wherein the team that represents the school I go to lost to West Virginia, and it was a very interesting kind of loss, because West Virginia had the ball, like, we're running down the court, there was a spin move, and it was a easy layup eventually. It was a really good play by West Virginia. Then the Jayhawks have a chance at the end, because they throw this, like, court-long pass that's caught in stride, and they miss a pretty tough layup there at the end. So, I mean, like, I'm not upset, and I don't get upset over losses like that. Yeah, I watched it at an Applebee's. I don't know if I want to admit that or not. But I then went home and made the mistake of clicking on the trend on Twitter. I made the mistake, first of all, of going on Twitter. I'm trying to stop that. And then second of all, of clicking on the trend for the player in question, who was Perry Ellis, who's a power forward, and he's a junior. People assume he's been playing here for a really long time, but the weird thing is, like, he's been at KU for 2 years. If he's been here for 3 years, he only got significant minutes for 2. And people are like, it's just like his 5th year. He's like, I can't believe he has another year of eligibility. It's like, how long have you been paying attention here? Like, this is his 2nd year of relevance, effectively. He had, like, very brief tournament minutes in the 3 games they played in the 2013 tournament. Because he was a player I watched in high school, actually. Because his high school played my high school in, like, the state Final 4 or Final Elite 8 or whatever, and they just absolutely murdered my school's team. Because he's really good. Anyway, there was some really just vitriolic shit just thrown at him. I don't know what to say, that he doesn't deserve. And if you do that, and the people are like, to his actual Twitter account, because he is on Twitter, and if you're doing that to anybody in college, please stop, because that's pathetic as fuck. Especially, I mean, really just for anything, especially abuse. If you're, oh, that was the play that scored last week, wasn't it? Haha. Amazing. Amazing how these things repeat. It's like poetry, it rhymes. Anyway, if you're doing that, please just reconsider doing that. Turn your phone or computer off, and possibly just sit out the next game. That's the first rushing touchdown of the season, by the way. Just you don't need to watch. You know, you can sit down, enjoy a good meal with your family. That's where I was, at Applebee's, not with my family, but enjoy a great meal in that Applebee's, and just don't tweet anything, negative or positive, at the college basketball or football, baseball, volleyball, softball, any sport star. Really, just I cannot emphasize that enough. Because that's messed up, really, especially when it's... I didn't notice I had scuff marks on the helmets, by the way. That's my amount of attention I give to things like this. It's just not... Just don't. Please. Topic 4, I had a triple-double in 2K15 today, and I'm proud of myself, so I'm happy about that in my career. My career is basically the only one I play, again, which is messing with my brain because of the stuff I used to say about Road to Glory mode when I was in high school, and I was like, when I get to college, I'm never going to want to play a mode like this again. Because the idea of playing a theoretically real-life aspect in college of a high school game is fucked up to me, and it gets more fucked up in my head, and I don't think it actually is societally. It's just, for me, I can't fathom myself wanting to pretend like I'm back in high school again, and the further I get away from high school, that still doesn't make sense to me. However, in this mode, I'm still pretending to be a real guy, having a great career with the Sacramento Kings, and you can read about that at joebutch.net with the Monday update that comes out this week, later today, even though it's Tuesday. And this video is coming up on Wednesday. Come on, Brett. I'm getting really great. I'm just not getting good angles at Brett Favre. I'm like going forward and then I can't turn. Sorry about that. I am sick, and it is cold outside. It's the double whammy. It's actually snowing outside, and here I am playing Madden 2002 in my room. Just delightful. And then number 5 is when a game gets too easy. This is what I want to talk about, because I had a commenter on Old Sports Games 29 yesterday ask about the rookie difficulty of NFL 2K1. And what I said was essentially this. I complained that whole video about it being, not really being hard, but just being messy, I guess, is the way I would put it. This game, the 2K1 is hard in the same way that, like, trying to walk across a really rickety bridge is hard, because it's not the fault of the action. Oh, hell yeah. That's a terrible metaphor. Madden 2002 is hard in the same way that driving a car, you know, that a beaten up, broken down old car is. It's not the sort of the judgment of driving. It doesn't have that much to do with that. Even if the road conditions are fine, the car, and oh shit, I fumbled, but I think I recovered it. I don't know. It went out of bounds. Yeah, we did. I can keep milking that play, slants, and just passing it to that whoever it is. Tiki Barber, I think is his name. ZA is timeout. It's not flip play. Okay, we have discovered that. It's ZR. So many people, you see, as we progress further and further into the GameCube era, people stop thinking Z plus anything is a good idea after about 2002 or so. I just have a guy spying on me. The linebacker just wasn't moving until I did. Somebody asked me, though, if the rookie mode on 2K1 was better than playing on the pro mode. And because I was playing it on the pro mode for that, I don't know what the highest difficulty. There are 3 difficulties though, and I had it on the second. And the reason that I had it on the second is because the rookie difficulty was far too easy for me. It was like I was up 35-0 in the game I played on the rookie mode. So at the end of it, I said I'm going to try it on pro, and then that was when really my difficulties with NFL 2K1 started. And so there are certain games that just get too easy. I had a video up a couple of weeks ago, about a month ago now actually, on the College Football Playoff Championship. And I looked through it, and you could see at the bottom of the screen, and I tried to kind of gloss over it, but did mention that I had a record of like 87-1 or something like that, because I was playing in middle school and I hated to lose. And it wasn't even like I was, you know, turning the game off when I was losing or anything like that. I was just like really good at it, and I was playing on the easiest difficulty. So I am no stranger to playing games that are too easy, but after a while it just becomes not fun. And I mean, if you're winning every time, it really isn't. So I try to at least give myself some challenge. And even though it's still, you know, losing a video game isn't fun, it's still a video game. Damn it. Okay, it's telling me Z and R, but R is pressure sensitive. It's a trigger. So like it doesn't work. It's not precise enough. If it were Z and B, that wouldn't be great, but it would work. Z and R doesn't. Madden 2002 designers, get your head in the game. Nice. So that was an unintentional movement of Toomer over to the right side, but it paid off for a nice game. Yeah, so I started playing Madden in 2005, I think 2 or 3 weeks ago, and I ran into the same problem where I was really good at, you know, at the second mode, whatever, it goes like Rookie, Pro, All Madden, and that. I was at Pro, and I wasn't losing a game. And then I went up to All Pro, and like I couldn't get anything to work. So I feel like your game should have that kind of middle ground. If you're making a game, if you're ever making a big budget football game, or a small budget football game, or a small budget game of any kind, a no budget game even, you should have that middle ground between too easy and too hard. Because too easy isn't fun, and too hard is also not fun. At least initially. NFL 2K5 did that perfectly. I should do an Old Sports Games on NFL 2K5 and just have it be like 12 minutes long of me gushing over everything I love about that game, because there are so many things. Yeah, halfback off tackle. Fine, whatever. I'm gonna win this game, 17-3. or maybe even 24 to 3, or maybe not. 24 to 3. I don't know. Yeah, okay. It'll be 17 to 3. I think. Oh shit! I gotta get a playoff. Or do I? Yeah, I technically do. Which is why we're gonna do this. Halfback direct snap. When it gets really close to the end, I saw a college team do this once, and this is gonna hurt Tiki Barber's rushing yards number for the rest of his, for the rest of the season. And even if he does, I might just run backwards. I remember Oklahoma State did it, and they had Justin Blackman, and he was like the fastest man on the team. So they just gave it to him and have him run towards the back of the end zone. Very heads-up play by him. Okay, so I got 4 seconds to kill. This is effectively the play that we being KU played against K-State when we had like 5 seconds to kill to beat them in 2004. That's what I remember about that game. I've talked about all 5 topics that I had for today. My controller just fell out of my hands, and that is that. Thank you for watching Old Sports Games. Not Old Sports Games. Thank you for watching Sports of the Day. And as always,